Some words change your vibration, others change your life. Thoth wrote this in stone, not to be read, but to be manifest. Because those who understand these 13 lessons don't just think differently, they vibrate differently, and the universe responds. Everything around you seems solid, fixed, and unquestionable, but everything vibrates. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your voice, the chair you're sitting on right now, the time surrounding you, the reality you call life. Everything is frequency. And when yours is misaligned, nothing works. Dreams get stuck, the mind becomes restless, the body gets sick. You try to change the outer world but keep emitting the same vibration. Thoth called this the invisible prison, and he also left the keys to escape. In the Emerald Tablets, he revealed that vibration is not just what builds reality, it's what decides who commands it. Those who don't master their own frequency will be dominated by the frequencies of others. Period. That's why this video isn't entertainment. The 13 lessons you're about to hear are not theory. They are energetic engineering. If you apply them, your field changes. And when your field changes, reality has no choice. It follows. But pay attention. This wisdom wasn't written for just anyone. It was left for those who feel something is wrong with the world and that the change begins within. If that's you, then listen with your heart, because your frequency is about to rise. But to rise requires awareness, and what the world lacks most today is vibrational awareness. We are surrounded by frequencies that drain, distract, and distort. News that feeds fear, social media that breeds comparison, empty words repeated, thrown to the wind like invisible poison. Without realizing it, you get used to vibrating on autopilot, and in that state, dreams become anxiety, purpose becomes burden, life becomes survival. This is no accident, it's engineering. Most people would train to ignore their own vibration, because a mind disconnected from the body and a body disconnected from consciousness is easy to manipulate. But the Emerald Tablets were left for those who choose to wake up. Thoth didn't speak to the collective. He spoke to the awakened individual, the one who begins to feel that reality has layers, that matter responds, that the mind is not everything. The one who feels there is something more, and that something vibrates, is the calling to understand reality as a field of energy, organized by the frequency you emit. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are, and what you are is what you vibrate. These 13 lessons were hidden for thousands of years, but never lost, because those who are ready to rediscover them simply recognize them. You'll realize it's not just information, it's remembrance, because what Thoth wrote, you already know. And it was precisely for those who forgot that he spoke, not in ink, not on paper, but in eternal stone, protected by symbols, metaphors, and hidden vibrations. Thoth didn't leave a book. He left a code, a map for those who are ready to remember. In the Emerald Tablets, the principle that underlies all others is clear as crystal. Everything vibrates, nothing is still. Everything moves, everything pulses, and everything responds. This is not a philosophical idea, it's a law, an invisible structure that sustains the visible. Those who master their own vibration don't need to control the world, because the world bends to the frequency that emanates from within. As I am to you, God through my knowledge, so shall you also be gods of the future because of your knowledge. That's what Thoth wrote, and that is exactly what we are reclaiming now. The 13 lessons you are about to hear are not random concepts. They are fragments of a complete energetic system, transmitted from civilization to civilization in silence by those who chose to remember. And now this knowledge has reached you, not by chance, not by luck, but because you tuned into it, because your vibration brought you here. Memorize, tune in, and manifest each of the following lessons. Lesson 1. Everything is vibration. If everything vibrates, then everything responds. This is the first teaching. The reality you call matter is just compressed energy, vibrating at a specific frequency. The chair you sit on the wall in front of you, your body, your thoughts, your voice, all are composed of vibrational patterns. What you perceive as solid is simply slowed down vibration. When Thoth revealed that vibration is the structure of everything, he was handing over the master key. Because those who understand this stop trying to control matter and start working at the level of energy. Your life doesn't change when things change. It changes when your frequency changes. If you want to transform what you experience, you need to start where everything originates, in vibration. Lesson 2. Consciousness tunes reality. It's not the world that defines your experience. It's your consciousness that tunes into the frequency of what you call reality. You're constantly adjusting your energetic field with what you think, what you feel, and what you believe. That field emits a signal, and that signal resonates with the field of the universe. It's that vibration that attracts situations, people, patterns, and results. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are, and what you are is what you vibrate. Thoth taught that the external world is merely a vibrational reflection of the internal world. That's why raising your consciousness is not a spiritual concept. It's a change in the station you're broadcasting to the universe. Change your consciousness, change your frequency, and everything around you will have to follow. Lesson 3. Emotions shape matter. The vibration that most impacts your reality is the one you feel. Your emotions are not just internal reactions. They are waves of energy that collapse possibilities. Fear, guilt, and anger lower your frequency and distort your field. Love, gratitude, and clarity. Science already shows that the heart has an electromagnetic field larger than the brain. They used to say, the heart knows, while the mind only analyzes. When you feel something intensely, your vibration becomes stronger, clearer, and more magnetic. That's why thinking positively without feeling doesn't work. Emotion is the energetic signature of your field, and the universe responds to it with precision. If you want to change matter, start by feeling what you want to live before you see it. Lesson 4. Inner balance creates outer harmony. Nothing in the universe vibrates in chaos for long. Everything seeks balance. Everything returns to harmony. If your reality is in disorder, it's not because the outside world went crazy. It's because something inside you lost its center. Thoth wrote that emotional imbalance is the source of physical chaos. Bodies get sick, relationships break, and decisions sabotage themselves. All of this is born from an internal vibration that strayed from the point of balance. The most curious thing is that balance doesn't require effort. It emerges when excess runs out, when you stop resisting, controlling, forcing, and simply return to the center. When your frequency stabilizes, your reality reorganizes, because the universe only mirrors what you vibrate with consistency. Lesson 5. The channels of vital force. This vibration you emit doesn't come only from the mind, nor just from the heart. It flows throughout your entire body through subtle channels of vital energy. Thoth called these the currents of life. Today, many traditions refer to them as Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. They are the invisible conduits that keep your frequency in motion, like rivers flowing within your field. When these channels are blocked, your energy stagnates. When they flow freely, you feel clarity, presence, and alignment. You may be mentally positive and still vibrate in scarcity, simply because your channels are overloaded with tension, fear, or energetic neglect. Conscious breathing, intentional movement, inner silence, these are ways to unblock these pathways. When energy circulates, your frequency rises, and everything begins to respond again. Lesson 6. Sound is the architecture of creation. If everything is vibration, then sound is one of the most powerful tools you possess. Thoth wrote, "Sing thou the song of freedom, not as a metaphor, but as a literal instruction." Sound carries form. It structures the invisible. Modern cymatic studies show how sound frequency creates geometric patterns in water, sand, and matter. The universe was created through vibration, and you continue shaping your life the same way every day with the sound you emit. Your words create waves. Your voice alters the field. Even in silence, your intention has tone. Sound is vibration in motion, and when used with awareness, it realigns, heals, and organizes. Speak with truth, breathe with presence, and sing. Even if in silence, the universe is listening. Lesson 7. The flower of life is the vibrational code of creation. The universe listens because it was designed to do so, and that design has a name. The flower of life. Thoth revealed that all existence is structured upon this pattern. Each line, each curve, and each geometric repetition reflects an essential frequency. It is not a spiritual symbol. It is a mathematical code, a vibrational language that connects everything: atoms, cells, galaxies, and you. The flower of life contains within itself the basis of all forms, sounds, and proportions. It is the mirror of expanding consciousness. That's why you feel something when you see it. That's why so many civilizations carved it into stone. Because this pattern doesn't just represent creation. It vibrates as creation. To meditate with it, to breathe with it, to feel with it, is to align your frequency with that of the universe itself. Lesson 8. The inner fire that transmutes densities. But not all vibration is light, and not all transformation begins with peace. There is a fire within you, a living, silent, burning force. It is not anger nor impulse. It is the power of transmutation. Thoth called this fire the all-burning force. It consumes fear, doubt, and attachment. But it only burns what no longer serves you. When this fire is ignored, it becomes internal destruction. However, when it is consciously cultivated, it becomes ascension. This fire never goes out. It has burned since your birth. But it only responds when you stop resisting and begin to surrender. All density can be burned away, and all pain can become light. You only need to allow the fire to do what it came to do: purify. Lesson 9. Polarity as the path to ascension. Every vibration moves between opposites: cold and heat, light and darkness, masculine and feminine. But Thoth taught that opposites are not enemies. They are two extremes of the same energy. You are not here to fight your shadow. You are here to integrate it. The more you resist polarity, the more it dominates your vibration. But when you accept, welcome, and understand it, something magical happens. And balance is not neutrality. It is power in harmony. Vibrational ascension does not come from fleeing pain, anger, or doubt. It is born when you recognize these aspects and overflow them with light. To integrate polarity is to stop swinging between extremes. It is to transform contrast into consciousness. It is to vibrate in wholeness. Lesson 10. Time as a vibrational field. If you think you're stuck in the past, it's because you still vibrate as you did before. But time is not a line. It's a field, and the frequency you vibrate at defines the point where your consciousness anchors. Thoth revealed that time is a force that separates events but does not limit them. He said time does not move. What moves is consciousness. Modern physics is beginning to confirm this. Past, present, and future coexist as vibrational layers. You can change your story not by going back in time, but by changing the frequency that keeps that pattern alive. When you shift your vibration, you gain access to other possible realities, other versions of yourself, other paths. Lesson 11. Earth. As a living vibrational being, you don't walk on the earth. You walk with it. It has been revealed that the planet is a living organism with its own consciousness and active vibration. Every beat of your heart vibrates in resonance with Earth's magnetic pulse. Every cell in your body carries the memory of the clay from which it came in. Every time you disconnect from nature, your frequency gets lost in the noise of the artificial world. But when you slow down, walk barefoot, and breathe with the forest, your energy realigns with the original rhythm of life. Earth is not a backdrop. It is a mirror, and what you emit, it amplifies. Reclaiming that connection is essential because no one raises their frequency by trying to escape Earth, but only by learning to vibrate with her. Lesson 12. Pure intention as the frequency of manifestation. Not all thoughts manifest. Not all desires create. Only vibration, sustained by pure intention, has the real power to shape reality. Thoth taught that the universe responds to the coherence between what you think, what you feel, and what you vibrate. Intentions are not what you want, it's who you are. When intention comes from fear, attachment, or haste, it fragments the field. But when it comes from an aligned heart, it magnetizes. You don't need to ask forcefully. You need to vibrate truthfully. Truth has a silent yet unmistakable frequency. This is what the universe trusts. Manifestation doesn't happen when you impose. It happens when you align. Lesson 13. Silence as the supreme channel of vibration. All vibration is born from silence. All creation begins in the void. The most powerful sound is the one you haven't heard, but already feel. Thoth knew that silence is not absence. It is origin. It is where frequencies organize before taking form. That's why ancient masters sought stillness, not to escape the world, but to shape it from within. In silence, you hear the field. In silence, you feel the vibration before it becomes reality. The chattering mind blocks. Stillness reveals. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and listen to what has no sound. There, in the space between thoughts, is where your frequency is purified and creation begins again. And when creation begins again, everything around you starts to respond differently, not magically, but inevitably. You start to notice certain people drift away without conflict, that doors open where there were once only walls, that ideas emerge in silence, solutions flow effortlessly, and time seems to slow down. But nothing changed out there. It was you who changed. Within, the vibration you sustain becomes a new energetic password, and only what resonates with it can enter. That's why sometimes peace feels lonely at first, because the new frequency is still cleansing the field. It's recalibrating connections, reorganizing your reality from the inside out. What seemed like blockage was just misalignment. What seemed like bad luck was just low frequency. And what you thought was impossible starts to happen. You feel, you sense, you remember. Life doesn't happen to you, it responds to you. Everything moves when you move internally. Everything reorganizes when your frequency rises. And when that happens, you never go back to what you were, because you experience and practice that it's real. And once you feel that, no illusion can convince you again. But feeling is not enough, because the field doesn't respond to what you touch for moments. It responds to what you sustain with consistency. This is where most people fail. They touch a high frequency for a few days, then return to the same habits, the same triggers, the same old emotions. And when reality doesn't change, they say nothing worked. But it's not that it didn't work. It's that they didn't sustain the vibration long enough for the field to respond. Thoth made it clear, vibration is law. But the ego wants speed. The field demands stability. Those who seek quick results without internal transformation will remain trapped in the cycle of frustration, because manifestation is not force, it's frequency. And frequency requires presence. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to be truthful, authentic with what you feel, coherent with what you think, and aware of what you vibrate. Most people hold back because they wait for signs before aligning. But the signs only appear once alignment has already begun. If you want results no one else has, you need to access frequencies few can sustain, and that is your advantage. Because if you've made it this far, you're already doing what almost no one does, keeping your awareness awake even while the world sleeps. Those who remain awake begin to remember, and in remembering they realize they were never the body, never the name, nor the story, nor the pain they carried. All of that was part of the costume, but you have always been the field, the frequency behind the form, the vibration that organizes reality. Thoth wrote that the body is a vehicle, a sacred instrument, but it is not you. It's the tool your consciousness uses to experience time and space. And when that remembrance returns, everything changes. You stop identifying with scarcity, with anxiety, with the past, and start vibrating in as who you truly are, a creative source. Reality doesn't happen to you, it emerges from you. Every word you speak, every emotion you nurture, every intention you sustain, all of it is writing right now the next scene of your life. You are the vibrational architect of your path, and when you understand that, guilt gives way to responsibility, and fear gives way to power. The world doesn't need to bow for you to transform. It's your vibration that commands the field. It always has. You are not here just to survive. You are here to vibrate at such an authentic, conscious, and pure level that the entire universe reorganizes around you. The 13 lessons of Thoth are not just an invitation to reflect. They are a spiritual technology for practical transformation. Applied in the silence of everyday life, they change everything. The way you speak to yourself, what you tolerate, what you attract, what you emanate, even when no one is watching. Your frequency doesn't depend on what the world gives you. It depends on what you decide to sustain, even when everything seems to fall apart. It's easy to vibrate high when everything is going well, but it's when everything shakes that your true frequency is revealed. You don't need to control everything. You only need to align. And when you align with who you truly are, reality has no choice. It obeys. As above, so below. As within, so without. As is the universe, so is the soul. That is the teaching of Hermes Trismegistus in its purest essence. Always remember, the universe doesn't hear what you say. It feels what you vibrate. If this video awakens something in you, return that frequency. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to keep receiving content like this. Comment below. I vibrate with awareness. That alone already reinforces your intention in the field. Share it with someone who's ready to step out of the illusion. Click now on the video appearing on your screen to continue your journey. It was handpicked to take you even deeper. Remember, your vibration is the seed of your destiny. What you emit today builds the world you will inhabit tomorrow.